99.9 Punk World Radio FM. This is episode 39 of Elite Wrestle Talk and the last wrestling interview of 2025. And I have no better individual that I could think of coming on the show this evening to wrap up 2025 for Elite Wrestle Talk. And that's the independently wrestling finest, Big Nasty Glenn Williams. This guy has been tearing up the independent circuit out there in the United States for 3 years. But if you watch his matches, you would think he's been wrestling for a decade. Glenn, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on. Normally we wear these glasses, but got a good glare off of the ring cam. So let's take those off so you can see these eyes. Thanks for having me on. I am very excited to be here. We're in Canada. Is that right?
That we are East Coast, man. So we're talking Ottawa, Ontario. The station's originally based out of Prescott, but I'm out here for college, so I'm posted up in my little makeshift studio in the corner of my apartment, and so we're in Ottawa, man.
So there's a chance Drake is listening, is what I'm hearing.
I hope not, because I don't like Drake.
Okay, Nickelback.
I'm Canadian, so I say no comment. If I admit I like Nickelback, I don't know, man. But I will say this, though, before we get into it. I did have a chance to interview Drake. I used to own a radio station just like this, but it was a hip-hop station previously. And I had a chance to interview Drake, and I turned it down.
Oh, my God. Why? What about it? Why do you not
Honestly, like him? I just don't like Drake.
That's fair. As a human being or his music?
Both. I don't know, man. Both. He. You know when you look at someone and you just want to punch them in the face for no reason, you have really no reason why? That's Drake.
Yeah, I got a list of those. Yeah.
And I know one of them I know another one that you have a list that's on your list. He's Canadian, and we're going to be talking about him a little bit on throughout the interview.
He's a real son of a
fans
bitch.
Know.
Yeah, he's a real son of a bitch. His name's Sean Vincent. He sucks. Self-proclaimed Canadian hero. Yeah.
But yet he probably couldn't even lace up Bret Hart's boots. So,
Oh, Bret Hart might be listening.
That would be cool. But let's just not talk about Bill. Let's just not talk about Bill Goldberg, though.
Yeah, he also sucks.
But someone that doesn't suck, man, is you, because you're a phenomenal wrestler. But I got to take things back, man, to when you were just 33 years old, which was just a couple years ago, where you actually started training to be a wrestler at the age of 33. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about the passion that inspired you to start training to be a wrestler in your early 30s, man, because that is some DDP mentality you got going on, man, and I love it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of how I got there, and then I'll answer that part, right? So let's flash back to when I'm, 19 and 20. It's like 2007 to 2010. I'm in a band. I'm in a band called The New Translation out of St. Louis. We're doing a lot. So I had some clips of stuff hit MTV2. Got to play on some shows that had Linkin Park, Chris Cornell, Filter, A Perfect Circle, Atreyu. Huge bands, huge shows. A lot of it was like right here. And then we did tour a bit, a lot of college stuff where a lot of our friends were at the time. But we were getting looked at and had a lot of interest. Back in the MySpace days, we were garnering about 250,000 streams, which at the time we didn't know what streaming was. We were kind of ahead of the game without realizing it. But was killing that, and that was like dream number one. But at the same time, was always a fan of wrestling, right? I've always watched it as a kid, really loved it. I'm an Attitude Era baby, so Stone Cold is God to me. I just absolutely loved it. And so now fast forward. The initial dreams didn't really pan out. Short story, fun fact, I ended up becoming a heroin addict for like 7 years, and got clean and was kind of having like an identity crisis out of that. So it's like, okay, well, who the hell am I now? What do I like? What do I want to do? I've always been a creative, so I was just kind of looking for something to sink my teeth into. Put some more music out, then COVID hit. So it's like, dude, what do I fucking do? So I just started like doing a random, podcast. We filmed like 7 episodes and that was it. It never got past that. And I interviewed a buddy of mine who I had played music with here locally in St. Louis, and his name is Tony Esteem. That was his wrestling name. His real name is Anthony Sasser, but he went by Tony Esteem, and he wrestled for some promotions right here in St. Louis. It was kicking ass, and he was like, dude, you should try this. Like, you love it. You'd be really good at it. And so he's the one that kind of got me my first start. So I was with him and some people over at Dynamo Pro in St. Louis training for a few months. And it wasn't quite what I was looking for. I was looking for something kind of specific as far as my training went. And that's when I found the Ace Wrestling Academy, which is Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. So I kind of was having like an identity crisis, midlife crisis, and was like, man, fuck it. Let's go. Let's try it. Because it's always been like a dream job of mine to be, work for WWE, but I meant it in any aspect or any capacity. But I was like, well, let's see if I can do the wrestling. I feel like I can handle it, So I was captain of the bowling team in high school. I'm an athlete, you know what I mean? So that's kind of, and so I just, I had an in, and I went in and I tried it, and I fell in love with it, man, and I haven't looked back since.
And I want to say first and foremost, man, congratulations on your sobriety, man. 6 years.
Thank you.
Such a huge achievement, man.
Yeah,
I know you got a whole lifetime of sobriety left, man, but I just got to say congratulations on that, man. You overcame that shit. And that's why you're big nasty Glenn. I don't swear during my interviews, but big nasty Glenn motherfucking Williams. I just have to say that.
Thank you. I'm glad that I could bring that out of you, because you might as well get a fucking swear jar for me. I'll try to be as professional as possible, but hey, Canada.
Oh, we're uncensored, dude.
Well,
we're uncensored. You can swear as much as you want.
Baby. Let's go. Yeah. No, I'll try to be professional, but I get excited.
I always say we're an uncensored radio station, right? I mean, we're internet based. We don't really have all those CRTC or in the States, the FCC rules and regulations. So I just say let them fly. I mean, me personally, I don't like swearing during interviews because I want to be able to maintain that filter. Because I mean, anybody that knows me personally, outside of interviews, I swear like a damn sailor. So I got to have at least an aspect of me that literally needs a filter.
Well, and look, I don't typically cuss in my promos. If I do, it's ass or something like that. Nothing crazy. I try to keep it as PG-13 as possible. So we'll both do it. We'll do good here. We'll try to keep it straight.
But speaking of Cowboy Bob Orton Jr., man, Randy Orton's father, I know you trained with him, like you mentioned, at Ace Wrestling Academy, but you tell us a bit more about just working alongside WWE Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton, man. Like, what was it like just stepping into the ring and like learning from one of the greatest wrestlers of all time?
Yeah, it's insane. So Bob is up there in years. He's got to be pushing upper 60s. I'm not 100% sure, but up there as far as like being physically active. And the guy, his schedule back in the day was more grueling than what is now, and even more than the 90s. It was intense and insane. So he has beaten himself up, but don't let that fool you. I mean, he'll sit on the outside of the ring is my point for the majority of the stuff. It's not like he's in there like running you through the drills, but you've got the Hall of Famer sitting there, and what he's doing is he's watching and he's picking apart what you're doing. So if your footwork's off, if your hands were, like anything in the drill that's off, we're like, hey, Bob, what was that? He was like, instant feedback. To get instant feedback from somebody like that, who like main event of WrestleMania 1, right? Involved in that. The guy freaking drove up and down the road with Roddy Piper. I mean, like he's done everything, and then helped birth and bring into the world arguably the greatest wrestler to ever live in Randy Orton. So having him there, I don't know how to explain it. Like best example I can give is if you got him excited enough, if you got him riled up enough and was working hard enough, you'd ask him for some feedback and he'd be like, oh, hell, it'd be easier to show you. So he'd just, slide into the ring. And then he'd be like, this is what a shoulder tackle is supposed to feel like. Then, he'd whip me off. He'd hit me for a shoulder tackle. And I was like, oh, this dude's stiff. Okay. So that there's like you can tell the level, like when you're new, you're trying, like, you don't want to hit somebody too hard. You don't know, now he let me have it. And I was like, okay, all right, well, that's what it needs to be. So, and then aside from that, wrestling with SICW, I've had several instances where I've, had some situations where I've ran into Bob, and Bob's sucker punched me a couple times and thrown me into a cage. And to just have those moments, it's something that I have to intentionally slow down and go, dude, can you fucking believe that you're getting the dude? You're like, who else gets to say that? You know what I mean? Like, I've had some moments where it's almost like a pinch me moment. Like, I cannot believe this is real, like, and to have him in St. Louis is just, it's a blessing. And the guy still having matches, occasionally, and he's still kicking people's ass, and he's just hard. That son of a bitch punched me a couple times, and it's like steel hands, so, but it's been great. The guy's just a wealth of knowledge, and just getting to hear stories from him and guys that he was in the ring with, just how things went, like hearing how the business was in that era of just absolute murderers row of killers. Like it's so, you can't put a price on it. You know what I mean? There's just so much knowledge to absorb from him. And so I owe that guy so much. It was one of the most incredible experiences. And then having the trainers that we had, everyone in there is 20 plus years experience and has been, a key integral part in the St. Louis scene for decades. So it's just the crazy amount of knowledge and just they're doing things the right way. I was taught the correct way how to do this. You know what I mean? So I feel by proxy that I'm one of the last real protectors of the traditions. You know what I mean?
And before we move off the topic of Cowboy Bob Orton Jr., what is one of the biggest things you learned from the WWE Hall of Famer that you still implement in the squared circle today in 2025? Because I'm sure he taught you a lot of amazing things.
Yeah. I think it's something that I try to implement in in anything that I'm doing, whether it's going out and cutting a promo, if it's going out and having a match or whatever, and we could pull the curtain back a little bit, right? Like you can have a game plan going into it, right? You can think that you're going to do X, Y, and Z, but if the crowd's not reacting to that, like, then I'm not actually wrestling for the people that paid the ticket to see us. I'm now wrestling for myself. And so being able to listen to the crowd and give them, what they want. They're telling you in real time when it's time to do the next thing. You know what I mean? So just hearing the stories and hearing things like that, I take that to heart, because a lot of people they feel like they got to map their stuff out and they'll stick to the plan and absolutely shit the bed. And it's like, yeah, okay, cool. That was cute and all that you did 17 flips and 14 super kicks and nobody gave a fuck. No one cared. I'll go out and do kick, punch, put you in a sleeper hold, kick, punch, do a suplex, and it's loud as can be, not a single flip. So just being taught the proper fundamentals and the correct way to do this. I mean, again, I can't thank Bob enough. I owe Bob my career because I learned so much from him.
And from October 5th, 2024 to July 7th, 2025, for 287 days, you held the SICW Central States Championship. I was wondering if you guys should tell us about this phenomenal championship reign, man, because you held that thing down, man.
Yeah. I beat Bobby D. Bobby D I was with me and Sean Vincent were partners for a while. He said that he was my friend and mentor. Later found out he's a sack of shit and a liar. But really what happened is him and Bobby were getting into it and kind of like, running a feud for the better part of the year. So I was with Sean at ringside for all of those bouts, and Bobby was holding the title down. And then Sean ended up getting hurt. Sean blew his knee out. And so inevitably I had to step up and I got a shot at the championship, and I ended up beating Bobby in his hometown of Belleville, Illinois, and took that championship and then made that thing the championship on the show. It was getting it seen by more eyes than that entire locker room and show combined, posting it everywhere. 2 nights later, I was at a place called Pops in Sauget, Illinois, and saw R-Truth perform and got my picture taken with him holding that championship. So I mean, I did so much more than anybody in that locker room, past, present, or future, has and ever will do with it. And I've got a rematch coming up January 10th when I drop that championship, which, by the way, I got screwed out of that. It was a lumberjack match all the way in Iowa. None of my friends got booked on the show, conveniently. They had a corrupt referee, James Beard, ref that match. It was me versus James Jeffries. Baron Von Raschke was on the outside, sitting next to the promoter Herb Simmons as a lumberjack, and he put the claw on a couple people. That was sick. D'Lo Brown there is one of the lumberjacks, and then that son of a bitch Bill DeMott was out there as one of the lumberjacks and decided to get involved in something that had absolutely zero to do with him. By the way, I've never met that guy in my life, and he comes in and gets involved. And tries to screw me over, and it ends up I'm getting outnumbered, and they let James Jeffries steal that from me. He disappears for months, wasn't on the show at all. I guess he was defending it in Iowa and across the country is what they're telling me. All the while I'm begging for a rematch, and they're not giving it to me. So I took that title and made it more prestigious than anybody. I beat every single person that came after me for it. For months. You told me right there it was 200 and how many days?
200, and I checked my notes here. It was 287 days.
Yeah, almost a full calendar year I held that down. So he stole it from me, and he's been ducking me. And finally, after I've complained and begged and complained, I'm finally getting what is deserved of me, and that is a rematch. And I'm going to beat that idiot like he owes me child support on January 10th. I'm going to slap that mullet and tassels right off of his stupid ass body. And I'm taking that title back, and I'm going to hold it for another 280, 380, 480 days. And nobody's taking it off of me. That's what's going to happen.
And you know what I say to that? I hate this saying so much, the new year, new me bullshit. But with that being said, for James Jeffries, 2026 is going to be a new year, new him, because for 10 days, he's going to be champion. But then when it hits January 11th, it's going to be a new year, new him when he's not the champion anymore. That's going to be the new him, begging for that rematch. Well, you have the gold rightfully around your waist where it belongs.
Yeah, I've got a game plan already. I'm in his head. I play mind games better than anybody. I am in his head. And, I just, there's no world where I leave that night without that championship. By the way, I'm one half of the current SICW Tag Team Champions in a group called Super Nasty with a gentleman, Super Assassin, found him from parts unknown. And him and I took the tag team championship. So you're looking at the future double champion. That is right. I will have both titles around my waist or shoulders, probably. It looks cooler if I do that. But I'll have two championships when I leave that night, and there's not a damn thing anybody can do about it.
And this is going to be going down January 10th at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. This is a worldwide radio station. We got people listening, not just in Canada, but all over since it's internet-based. So with that being said, if people are in or around the Belle Claire Fairgrounds and want to see James Jeffries get that mullet smacked right off his noggin, where do we snag ourselves some tickets tonight there, Nasty?
You go to SICW, which stands for Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling, SICW.org. Or you can follow SICW on Facebook. You can shoot them a message. They'll get you faded with some tickets. Or you can get tickets at the door. They always have them at the door. There's no markup. What you pay online is what you pay the night of. But we are trying to pack that place out. I'm going to beat the absolute dog shit out of James Jeffries and take that championship back and put it around my waist, the Central States Championship. It's synonymous with my name. I made it famous again. And, hey, we're going to make some history. I'll be a two-time Central States champion on January 10th.
Hey, man, all you have to do is look at James and be like, and pull a Dave Chappelle and be like, what do the five fingers say to the face?
Slap. I'm big nasty, bitch. I'll tell him that to his face and do it for you. I promise. Yeah, that's awesome.
And we also got Gwen Hamlet up here in the comments saying she loves the suit.
Thank you very much. I chose I made a bold choice a few months back and went no shirt under the suit. So Thank you. These are Amazon specials. Everyone's always, where are you getting them? Just Amazon. Yeah, you can get a suit jacket for like $70. I am balling on a budget. So if anybody out there's listening and you want to sponsor me, we can talk. I'll put your name on this suit. I don't give a damn. We'll make custom ones. We'll do it. I will put your business out there.
And not even just that, man. You're out there down south, man, wrestling. So, I mean, obviously it gets hot nonstop. You can't have a full-on suit going to the ring, man. You're going to be sweating your balls off before you even get there.
Bro, I'm 250. I sweat in 30-degree weather sitting down inside. I'm running hot 24/7. So yeah, I definitely was like, you know what? Let's be smart about this. Let's do no shirt. And it also, I'm bringing sexy back if we're being honest. So I just need. It's a fashion look. It's a choice. It's a bold choice, but one I'm willing to make. Somebody's got to do it. You know, I'm trying to give some love to the thick boys out there.
And also as well, I saw a photo on the internet while you were actually still champion that you actually had a chance to share the ring and cut a promo with WCW legend Buff Bagwell. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about this iconic moment within your career. And of course, what was it like just standing side by side, sharing the squared circle with someone as big as Buff Bagwell?
A dream come true, man. I mean, I'm not even just saying this or making this up. Anytime Buff Bagwell was on TV, I was flexing at the TV and I was not changing the channel. Me and my cousins were flipping back and forth, WWF at the time, but WWE and WCW, we were flipping back and forth through what we liked and what we didn't like. Obviously, if you watch back then, unless you're an absolute psychopath, you love the NWO. And you know, until it was just like, okay, we get it, like everybody's in the NWO. But like, you know, those first, like that first year was just insane. And Buff Bagwell, I don't think I've ever seen a bad Buff Bagwell match. I really don't. So the guy is an absolute thoroughbred. He's a beast. I thought he had a ton of charisma and could have been and should have been a little bit bigger than he was, but still an absolute legend and still in an absolutely legendary group. And so getting to talk to him and meet him and do that whole thing was, I mean, it was crazy. And I'm glad that I might be, if not one of, I might be the last like in-ring like segment that he did, because it wasn't long after that when his leg happened, when he had to get his leg amputated. So I don't take that lightly. From what I can tell, I mean, he's an asshole and punched me in the face, but from what I can tell, he's doing everything in his power to keep his life in the right direction. And I know what that is like. So as much as I want to have heat with him for it, I wish him the best, and I hope that he can just keep. I mean, to lose your leg and be as positive as he is amazing, because that's a really tough thing to deal with, especially for a guy who's been absolutely shredded his whole life. Like, it's got to do something on you psychologically. So I wish him nothing but the best. SICW sends their wishes to him too, and we're rooting for him. But yeah, the guy punched me in the face. So you know, I got a list of legends that have punched me in the face, and I don't know if I should be proud of that or pissed off, or both, I guess. You know, but yeah, he's one of them. Yeah, Bob Orton, Buff Bagwell, both punched me in the face. Not a lot of people could say that.
And I have to say, man, I had the opportunity to interview Buff Bagwell earlier on this year, and I have to say, he was my bucket list interview. And just like you, man, I grew up on WCW and WWF. I personally love the WCW. Buff Bagwell was one of those wrestlers that was my ultimate favorite. So getting that opportunity to sit down with him, even though it was virtually and chatting for an hour and a half, was a surreal moment, man. And I have to say, one of the nicest people I've actually ever met, man. Such a down-to-earth guy. I mean, I know he did punch you in the face nasty, but I have to say,
yeah. Well,
you know,
look,
definitely a nice, aside from him punching you, he was a nice guy.
Yeah, well, and I get it. Look, I understand. It's very clear and obvious to see who the star is when I'm in the room. So I guess he had a little moment where he felt like he needed to come in and ride my coattails for, you know, a good 10 minutes. And that's cool. I'm glad I could do that and give back like that to a legend and donate some of my star power to make him feel that one more time. But watching him just the way he interacted with people in the locker room and just seeing the way the gears turned in his brain, like the guy loves this business and is still as passionate today as he was 20 years ago, I would imagine. Like he lights up when he's talking about it, and he lights up when people ask questions and he's trying to give that knowledge that he's learned back. And so that was really cool to see, because a lot of times people in that spot, it's not uncommon for them to be an asshole. So he wasn't quite an asshole until he punched me in the face. But yeah, overall, good guy.
And also, currently, right now, talking about going from getting punched in the face to going to wanting to punch someone in the face, we're about to get into the Canadian supposedly sensation, bunny ears, Sean Vincent. Can you tell us a bit more about the backstory on this feud? And of course, what sparked this whole North American ordeal?
Yeah, Sean has been a key component and player of the St. Louis wrestling scene since the early 2000s. He's been on tons of shows, wrestled the who's list of people. And has got over 20 years of experience, and actually was running Ace Academy with Bob Orton. He was kind of the one that was like handling all of the day-to-day activities for Ace. That was like his baby. And so that's where I met him. He's one of my trainers. And so the cool thing about Ace is that it kind of acts as a feeder system for SICW. So you're able to work your way into the TV tapings, and then if you do well at that, you can kind of get more and more opportunities. And so I found myself in an opportunity where him and I were joining together and joining forces. And so he was kind of like my mentor, but we became a tag team, and and then he was the Central States champion with my help, and we went on an absolute tear. Like I gave his career the largest shot in the arm I think that it has ever had. I don't think that Sean has ever been more relevant or talked about or hated, or I don't think people have cared near as much as they ever have, except for when he was in the ring and attached to the hip with me. And I'm not just saying that. That's for a fact. That is actual factual. Like, that's all facts, no printer. And then what happened is Sean blew his knee out. And then Sean, hey, man, don't worry, Big Nasty. You're getting a chance now to be a singles wrestler, and you're getting an opportunity, and I'm going to be there for you, and I'm going to manage you, and I'm going to be there for you. And so I counted on that. I didn't, I was like, hey, man, like, if you're hurt and stuff, like, stay home. I understand. You don't have to manage me. It's okay. No, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be there for you. And he was for a couple of weeks. And then it seemed like every single show, hey, getting a text, day of, hey, man, not going to make it, or hey, I can't actually be there, or, and he's using his kids as an excuse. What's funny is when he was wrestling, that wasn't an excuse at all. He was at all the shows. But when he's hurt, now all of a sudden, he wants to be dad of the year. You know what I mean?
It sounds like another. Like another Canadian that I know.
Yeah, so it sounds like an asshole friend, right? Supposed to be my boy, supposed to be my mentor, supposed to have my back. Now I'm out here. We're running plays together when it's him defending a championship or going after a championship, and he needs my help. But when I need the same thing reciprocated for the countless hours and countless shit that I did for him, I can't count on him to come have my back. You know what I mean? We made so many enemies. Let's talk about me. I made so many enemies at that locker room because I was his friend. Do you know how many people go, "Oh, you're partners with Sean Vincent"? And I'm like, yeah, he's my asshole, right? Like, he likes to paint himself as this really great guy, this hero to everybody, forgetting that I know who he really is. You know what I mean? Like, I was there. I saw it all firsthand. And so what he does is then he comes back from being hurt. And every year, SICW, we partner with Bruiser Brody, absolute icon and legend in this game. And a true one of one. You know what I mean? Never before was there someone like him, and never after. Attila Khan's the closest thing you're going to see to Bruiser Brody ever again. And so his wife is actually good friends with our promoter, and we have her blessing, and she actually gives the trophy to the winners. And every single year at SICW, we do the Bruiser Brody Memorial Battle Royal. And so I was definitely the front runner to win that whole thing. And then Sean decided to come back, and actually him coming back kind of like led to a chain of events that really screwed me over here. So he comes back and makes an announcement that he's going to be in the Battle Royal. And I'm supposed to be happy for him because he's telling everyone now that he's going to win. Well, I thought the plan was for me to win because, you know, I've never won it. And that's why it's my thing. I go win all the stuff. Like, that's what I do. And so we had a disagreement, and, you know, he decided to punch me in the face. So I beat the shit out of him. And Trending Trent Daniels was there with me, who's also my boy, and he helped kick the shit out of him. And people didn't like that. People didn't like that we beat Sean up and are calling me a traitor and all this stuff. And I'm not. Everyone is forgetting on purpose all the things that Sean has said and done. And now they're like, no, he's changed. He's not. He has not changed. He's the same guy. He's still a prick. And he's mean to me, and he's a jerk to me, and everybody seems to not care when that happens. But if I go do the same shit back to him, now all of a sudden I'm a cheater, I'm a bad guy, and all this thing. It's very lopsided, and a lot of hypocrisy going on. And what ended up happening, because Sean had a vendetta against me, we ended up eliminating each other in that battle royal. And wouldn't you know it, guess who won? James Jeffries. And wouldn't you know it, guess who challenged me for my championship because he won? Yeah, so because of Sean, I ended up losing in Iowa also. I got set up in Iowa because Sean came back and had to get involved in my business instead of just sticking to the plan and the play. And he didn't like that I got bigger than he was, which, by the way, was already happening whenever I was paired with him. It's not hard to see who's more entertaining. It's me. I check all the boxes. It's always me. It's not him. Sorry. And he didn't like it. Whenever I had to cut the dead weight out of my group, people didn't like that either. And they hopped on the Sean bandwagon, and now they cheer him. And it's hilarious to me. And so we've had an absolute feud. We've done a street fight. We have done what else do we do? A strap match. I mean, we've beat the shit out of each other for the better part of like 2-3 months, 4 months. And he got in a tag team with Jason Breed over here, who they've known each other since early days in Gateway Championship Wrestling here in St. Louis, which is no longer around, but was a big promotion in the early 2000s. And so those guys are dipping into the nostalgia pool and trying to tag again, acting like that's going to be so big and such a good thing. And it is what it is. I beat them both, and they think they're going to come take the tag titles from me, and they're not. I'm so good. That's how many plates I'm spinning. I'm going to go win this championship. Then I'm going to beat these two idiots to keep this championship. I'll wrestle tonight. I'm not scared. You know what I mean? But in a nutshell, in the Cliff Notes version, that's the story. And I intend to be the one to retire his ass. It's time for someone to take him out back. And, you know, enough's enough. We get it, dude. You used to wrestle good. You know, you broke your knee. You're mad at me. Whoop-de-doo. You know, like, we get it, dude. You're mad at me because his whole world now revolves around me, and it's getting kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, I gotta say, like, just by the sounds of that story, it sounds like from the start, man, he had a vendetta to not only dethrone you of that championship, but also bring you down as well, man, because it's always the ones that are closest to you are the ones that actually want to see your demise, man, and it's sad to look at it like that.
It's giving conspiracy vibes, you know what I mean? But if I say that out loud, I'm crazy. So,
I mean, you just got to read between the lines. But that's the thing. People think people change, but they don't change. Once a piece of shit, always a piece of shit. That's how it goes.
Yeah, except for me. I was a heroin addict, and now I'm not. And I'm a great guy. Everyone thinks that in wrestling, you're supposed to live by some moral compass. No, that's not true. In life, if you're lucky, you get one shot at what you want to do. I am forcing life to give me a second chance. And I don't take that lightly. So you don't get noticed by losing all the time in professional wrestling, folks. You get noticed by winning, and you get noticed by talking good and being loud and getting people's attention. And I do both of those things very well. So yeah, I don't live by the moral compass that everyone in the crowd who's mediocre and done fuck all with their life thinks I should. I do what I want when I want, and I cause chaos everywhere I go because I'm the star of the show.
And all I have to say is, just those 6 years, that was a mistake. People make mistakes, man. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. Everyone makes mistakes, but it's the fact that you got out of that, part of the life and bettered your life, man. So that shows that the whole time you were a good person, you were just down on your luck, man.
Exactly. Unlike Sean Vincent, who's been an asshole since day one. Exactly. See, you get it, dude. You're getting it now. Yeah, it's beautiful.
But aside from this amazing wrestling feud that honestly, I'm glad you're getting the chance to whoop his ass over and over again. But you also whooped his ass in another sense as well, when you went straight to the music industry, man, where you released a song called Better Than Sean Vincent. I was wondering if you could actually just tell us, obviously the story behind the track is, of course, about him being a POS to you. But with that being said, tell us a bit more about the song itself. And of course, we will be seeing more musical releases from you in the future.
Yeah, well, so that's why, I touched on it earlier when you asked when I started. And like I said, music's been a part of my life forever. I've been playing in bands since I was 8 years old, or performing in some aspect, or playing acoustic gigs or whatever. I'm always involved in music somehow. And so I've never really shown that side of me. I've talked about it, but I've never shown it or found a way to work it into, wrestling. And so I was sitting back at home one night and was just thinking, like, man, this asshole, sure, I could cut promos and make fun of him and roast him all day because there's, obvious material just sitting there. But let's do something different. Like anybody, and then here's the other thing too, is like playing guitar and singing and being able to do that. If you're not careful, you can kind of get pigeonholed in professional wrestling. And also, you got guys like Joe Hendry, Elias, even Jeff Hardy. Like, there are people at a high level that are doing Trick Williams with rap songs, AJ Francis. Like, there's a lot of people that are doing
Rich Swann as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, and there's people that have done this, you got Honky Tonk Man, you got the Freebirds that had songs. Like, it's been a thing that has happened in wrestling for ages. But I think the uniqueness that I have is that 9 times out of 10, when these people perform, and let me talk specifically about the singers, and R-Truth is another one, right? But let's talk about specifically the guys that are singers and play the guitar and sing. They're not really good singers. Like, they're okay, but I'm actually a really good singer. So what if we're gonna do a diss track? I can rap if I wanted to, but then I'm not really being myself. It's like, no, let's hit them with a pop banger that's like a sing-along anthem. Like, what's better than making fun of somebody in a diss track, but also the song's catchy as fuck and really good, And so that's kind of where it came about, is I'm trying to do something that's been, that hasn't been done this way, right? Like, it's something that is kind of being done, but I'm trying to find my uniqueness to it, and I think that's what it is. And so pretty much at this point, it was just like, let's see if I can still do this. Let's see if I can still write good music. Turns out I can. And turns out nobody's safe now. As far as when am I going to put new music out, I honestly, whenever I feel like it is kind of the answer. It depends. You never know who's going to push my buttons and get me to that point where I'm like, you know what? Time for a diss track, bitch. And then I, go record it real quick and put it out. So I don't, I think I would like to get to a point, whether it's diss tracks on wrestlers or in general. I am sitting on other songs that have nothing to do with wrestling that I'll end up releasing this year. Because I'm slowly trying to work that into what I do. I would like to have all of the things that I do kind of under the same umbrella and be under the Big Nasty name now. And so that was kind of the thought behind it. I've always wanted to do this. It's just, I think I found the right time for it. And it it went over great. So I think waiting in this aspect was the smart play for me. But yeah, you'll see more music videos and more songs come out. And I would like to get to where I can maybe get to a more consistent pace. I'd love to put like a song a month out. And who knows what's going to happen. So we'll see. And I need to promote it a little bit better than I did. I put it out, put some videos out, but I really need to hammer it home. Like, probably 100 videos for that song. Cause it's good. It really is. If you haven't listened to it, you should go stream it. It's out. It's all on all major platforms. It's called Better Than Sean Vincent. You can look it up. Find my name, Big Nasty Glenn with 2 N's, Big Nasty Glenn Williams, and bump that shit. And then go message Sean Vincent and let him know that I'm better than he is.
And before we move on the topic of Sean Vincent, I wish I could bring this picture up live on the feed, but when I actually clip this and make a social media post, I'll make sure I have this Kodak moment right there in the middle of the screen. But you choked Sean Vincent out with a kendo stick like it was a damn gag ball.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about that Kodak moment, because that's probably one of the most funniest and best wrestling Kodak moments I have seen in a very long time.
Thank you. Yeah. Turns out he doesn't have a safe word. And then secondly, I do this move, and I do this move that I haven't seen anyone do ever. So I guess that makes me a genius too, on top of all this. So it's kind of a nod to the Iron Sheik. He's got the clutch, right? And so I do the move, but I thought it would be a little bit more effective and kind of cool, and also a good visual for a photo if I hang the person I'm giving it to's arms on the second rope, right? So I'll hang their arms on the rope and then pull their head back in the clutch. Just so happens on that night I was in a street fight, and I was like, oh yeah, I could choke him out with this kendo stick, and this is gonna look awesome. And it did. It looked so good. I actually made it the album art cover for the song Better Than Sean Vincent. So go stream it and you'll see that photo with a bunch of sparkly letters there. But yeah, I love it. I need to come up with a cool name for that. Maybe I'll call it the Better Than Sean Vincent. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. I gotta workshop some names for my moves.
I'm telling you, that right there, that photo was such a Kodak moment. It belongs on billboards. I think at some point when you wrestle Sean Vincent again, print those out and just go old school, man. Right outside the venue, just layer the walls with that photo. That's what I think should happen.
Print some T-shirts and just throw them out. You know what I mean? Sell them as 8x10s. Fuck it. Let them all have it. Yeah. Get the commemorative I'm better than Sean Vincent to 8x10 with T-shirt for just being at the show that night. Yeah. Yeah.
And then whenever he's hiding from you in the dressing room, you can sneak in there and throw a couple prints actually just, in his bag. That way he has something to look at on the way home,
Well, I do know this. I am looking over my shoulder at all times. That's what we've been doing. And December 6th, I think it was the 6th, of this month. I wasn't originally scheduled to be there. And SICW had their last show of the year. Excuse me. And I ended up just happened to be in town, just driving by. I was like, oh, look at this. I actually have a few free minutes, and pulled up and walked in, and Sean happened to be in the ring, and his match happened to just be getting over with. So I thought, you know what? I can't just not go out there and beat the shit out of him. So I attacked him. And we fought around for a little bit, and he tweaked his knee and he left. So I know that he is hot right now. I know that even with Christmas lurking, he's sitting there plotting on when he's going to attack me next. So that's not lost on me. I'm going to have some people out at my match with me just for some security, because I really don't trust that Sean's not going to screw me out of my opportunity. So I'm definitely going to have some security with me that night, and I'm definitely going to have to make sure that it's a fair fight, because I promise you, if I get screwed out of this championship again, I'm going to go nuclear. Can't even talk. I'm so mad. Nuclear. And I'm going to absolutely destroy everybody and everything in sight if that happens. So I guess that's a good fair warning to him. I know that we're going to have our day, and this is not even close to being over with. And I know that those two, the Gateway Saints, want to have these tag titles around their waist, but it's not going to happen. And they can try, and I've told Herb, hey, book the match. Let me know. I'm ready when they are. So I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't happen pretty soon, sooner rather than later. So.
And today you announced via social media that you're starting a brand new business venture called the Nasty System. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about this venture, and of course, how can your fans and other promotions listening get more involved with the Nasty System tonight?
Yeah, so I released it today. We footage for that a couple weeks back, or about a week and a half ago, and so what I've been doing is I've been taking younger wrestlers, newer wrestlers, or maybe we'll call them lost, right? Wrestlers that maybe don't have a sense of direction or really doing much. And it's a PSA to them, like, hey, I understand where you're at, and I've learned a lot in my 3 short years. I've lived a crazy life so far, and I've won just about every championship you could win. And wrestler of the year for 2024. I'll get it again for 2025. I was rookie of the year. I was trained by a Hall of Famer. Like, I know my shit. I know what I'm doing. And so essentially, like, all these people that tell you, because I've been a life coach and mentoring some people at SICW, and it's been talked about. It's known knowledge that I have the Big Nasty mentorship program, and this is what it's kind of evolved to. I've kind of put a name on it, and it's the Nasty System. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to go to promotions, and I'm trying to get booked all around the world, and I'm looking for people who are needing to be mentored. If you're not sure how to navigate through professional wrestling, let me show you. You always get these motivational speakers, and they're always like, listen, the facts are is that there is no secret, there is no magic pill, there are no shortcuts, you have to work hard, and one day you might get your dreams. And it's like, I call bullshit. Actually, you should work smarter, not harder, and there's a lot of shortcuts you can take, and I'm going to show you how to take them, especially when it's directly involved in the wrestling business. There's a gray area with these rule books here, and I've studied them. I have a lawyer, a really great lawyer, shout out to Lucky P. Larson, who also knows the rule book very well. And we have used that to our advantage. I like to wrestle with my brain, not so much, trying to be out there and be some macho tough guy or whatever, like, cool, bro, do a flip, do a super kick. I'm going to be smart and do the least amount of work possible and beat you. And the crowd doesn't seem to like that, but I don't care. It is a proven system. I think 70% of the time it works every time. And so, the Nasty System works if you're a young wrestler, a lost wrestler. If this is resonating with you as a fan, all you got to do is follow me. You're going to get the tips and you're going to get the tricks absolutely free. This isn't a thing that I really am looking for money. It's more of like, hey, let's work together. If you're at a promotion, all you got to do is DM me and hit me up. And let's get me booked. Let's get me in your town, and let's get this one-on-one time. Let me show you exactly what you need to do and how to be successful in this crazy business. And that's the Nasty System. It's me giving back to people that need it.
And you know what? I gotta say, I gotta commend you on that, because not a lot of wrestlers, man, really have that mindset that you have. I mean, it's been a short time since I started working in wrestling, but I've seen a lot of locker rooms, and I haven't met anybody like you, man, that has that mentality to be like, let's do the Nasty System. Let's help these guys get over. Let's help these guys, get noticed and better their career. But at the same time, man, if you really think about it, it helps you out as well, because you actually get booked in new cities, new promotions. So it's a win-win for everyone, man. It's smart as hell.
Yeah,
people need to take notice of the Nasty System.
Yeah, that's the name of the game for me right now, is like, how can I do something different? And to be honest with you, I think this is a lane all of its own. I've never really seen someone attempt this. Certain way, like, I'm not trying to be, let me be very clear, I'm not trying to be some cult leader. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I am matter of fact, hang on a second. Let's just get this out here too. Hang on. I got my stuff here. I actually am an ordained minister, so you can have Big Nasty marry you. I'll come to Canada. I'll go wherever you want me to go. So if you need to get somebody to be your official, I can do that for you. But, and that's what I was thinking about. It's like, look, what can I do that's a little bit different, right? Like, and here's the reality, man. The truth is that who I am right now on this interview and who I am in the ring and who I am in the locker room, I'm not playing a character. All of this shit is me. I'm just being myself. And you don't believe me? You can call up the people closest to me and they're going to go, no, that's him. That's who he is. So this isn't like I'm not trying to be something I'm not. It's going to resonate and it's going to work. I want to go to other promotions and I want to take these people that aren't getting a fair shot, that maybe got looked over, or, someone, maybe they're like me. Maybe they are a new rookie and they're scared and they're nervous and they just want to do a good job and not fuck up. And they hit the curtain and they walk out, and before the crowd ever even gets a chance to know them, they just start to boo them. And that's what happened to me. They didn't even give me a chance. They didn't try to get to know me. They just started booing me. I guess I maybe because I'm so handsome. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I walked out. I was looking serious and ready to compete, and I was getting booed. And that's how it's been since day one. And so I know there's a lot of people that are experiencing that unfair treatment because they're new and people don't know who they are and they don't want to give them a chance. And so I want to show people how to navigate that. I want to show these people that, there's strength in numbers. And when you have a group of people trying to support one another and lift each other up and be there for each other, a lot of greatness and magic can come from that. You're seeing that from a lot of groups today. I mean, hell, Judgment Day, really great, successful group, right? You know what I mean? The Bloodline was arguably the most successful group of all time. There's a lot of strength and magic whenever you're working together and you're all going for a common goal. People may not understand that because the majority of these knuckle-dragging mouth breathers that watch wrestling don't have dreams. They go work at Taco Bell or go work on the corner and then go home and go watch wrestling and go, well, I could do that better than they could. Why is that guy sucks? And the people they cheer for are the average Joes that remind them of their mediocre lives, because for a split second they go, I could do that. But then they just get on the computer and type and talk all this shit online and don't ever say that shit to anyone's face because they're scared. That's the reality. They're scared to actually go after a life worth living. They're sitting there terrified to even take a chance or take a risk and want to boo and cut down the people like me that aren't fucking scared to go after what they want and know what they want. And that's the problem. That's why they don't like me. That's why I don't resonate with them, is because greatness is above you. It's something so big and gigantic that it fucking terrifies you. Well, guess what? It doesn't terrify me. There's a reason why I'm the star of the show and your fat asses are the ones paying to see me, because not a goddamn person on this planet is paying to see you. And that's the reality of it. And I want to teach these people and show these new wrestlers or these lost wrestlers that there's hope. There's hope and there's strength in numbers, and there's strength in something magical about when a group of people work together, what they can achieve. We see it in the history of sports all the time, right? A great team, man, when they're all working on the same wavelength and working together, that magic happens and things just go their way. Isn't it funny how things just kind of go my way? It's not on accident. It's on purpose. And I want to show people my secret. So that's what the nasty system is. I'm trying to give back and show people that you can either do this the right way, or I can put you on game and you can be a winner.
And those, when you said those people are scared of success, is scared of going after their dreams, they're also scared of deodorant. I've been to many shows, man. I'm not saying every wrestling fan, but there's a big, huge number where Speed Stick, if they put on Speed Stick, bro, it's going to slow down and stop. That's how bad it is.
Let's put it this way. If what you just said is triggering you, you're the motherfucker that needs to put on some deodorant or get a body spray. You know what I mean? That isn't Axe. What are we, in high school? Grow up and go buy some cologne like an adult. Go to a Macy's or go to a Walgreens and get it on sale. You know what I mean? You got to dress for the job you want. You got to smell good. You got to feel good. You got to take a shower. You got to wash your ass from time to time. You know what I mean? And it's those same stinky motherfuckers that go to a meet and greet and be super creepy to the girl wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like, that shit needs to stop. Yeah. You know, it's horrible. So and that's like, just what it is, bro.
Get your picture, get your 8x10 and get the fuck out, man.
Get the fuck out, bud.
You know what I mean? Get what you pay for and leave, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's what the nasty system is, and I don't think I've seen someone approach it quite like I am right now, and I'm just glad that I've got this idea that I can sink my teeth into, and then you add the music element to it. And I'm a host. I do ring announcing for my buddies Muay Thai and kickboxing promotion. Shout out to the Stand Up Fight Series. My boy Chad Mueller fought over in Thailand for a handful of years and is a killer, and has really, really brought the sport of Muay Thai and kickboxing to relevance in a big way here in the St. Louis area. And I've been a part of that since the beginning. And so I don't take that lightly either. So I've got a lot of things and a lot of, hustles that I do that involve entertaining. And I'm here to tell you, there's not a soul walking this planet that can do this shit the way that I do it. And so that's what the nasty system's all about, is I'm just me being me. I'm going out there and I'm doing my thing like I know how to do, that I've done for years. And whether you love me or hate me, you're going to feel this shit. I promise you. When I'm out there and I'm on your screen, you're going to feel this shit. And so that's the name of the game. And that's what the nasty system is.
And with 2025 coming to a close, matter of weeks, 2026 is on the horizon, a brand new year. Aside from the nasty, from the nasty system, the two amazing championship matches that you're gonna win, I know that for a fact because you're big nasty, Glenn Williams. You're gonna have both of those straps going into 2026 on your shoulders. With that being said, aside from all this amazing stuff currently going on, what is next for yourself? What's next on the horizon for 2026 for big nasty Glenn Williams himself?
Yeah, I'm really, that whole phrase, shoot for the moon so you land with the stars is where I'm at right now. I am going all in on myself. That video paid for out of my pocket, and it wasn't cheap. I'm doing a nasty talk segment every single week on SICW TV, and what that means is that I've got an open platform to say and do whatever the hell I want, and I've been doing that now every single Sunday for 2 months, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So I've got a lot on my plate that I'm trying to make happen, and I feel like I've got a pretty sweet recipe right now for some momentum and to get noticed. I mean, the goal has always been to get on TV. And I'll be honest with you, I've got some places that I'd love to land, MLW, NWA, TNA, AEW, WWE, NXT, New Japan. I don't give a fuck. Anyone that is willing to put me on television, the person who does it first is going to look like a fucking genius, because I'm going to make them look like the smartest person alive. I can tell you that now. If you put me on national television, I'm going to make you look like a fucking genius. I want this so bad that it's not, I don't let the thought of failure even enter my consciousness. I don't even think about losing. I don't even think about it not working out. I only see it for what it is. I only see it going how I want it to go. And so in 2026, I'm blowing the doors down and I'm landing myself somewhere. I'm going to get a match on TV. I want to get a contract on TV somewhere. I want to do this at the highest level for the most amount of people possible, because I feel like I legitimately hold the tools for somebody that would be signed in a company like that, whether that's doing an interview well and being entertaining, or going and cutting a promo, or having a great match, or whatever's asked of me in any aspect in this business, I can do and I can handle. And so whoever puts me pen to paper first is going to be a genius, because I'm going to make them a lot of money. And that's the goal. I want to end up, I've got a few people on my hit list that I would love to rub elbows with. And I've already got some stuff cooking right now that I can't announce yet. But yeah, I'm going to more promotions. I've really hung around SICW for a couple of years and really honed my craft. And I've had a great opportunity to do a lot of stuff there. And I owe Herb Simmons everything, because he took a chance on me and keeps giving me more and more opportunities. And then some of those opportunities I just take. But I mean, he's given me a platform to be myself and to go out there and really learn this and to really do this and to hone my craft. And I feel like I'm really finding my stride, and I feel like I'm finding exactly what I need to do to go from here to the big jump to the next level. So, I'd love to get on GCW shows. I'd love to go the Wrestling Revolver, like all the big indies I want to hit and really just get my name in the conversation of the top guys. That's what I want. And so I'm shooting big, and the goal is always TV, but for 2026, I want to crack my name on that. I mean, I guess the top 500, or like, I just want to be included in that conversation. You got guys like Ben Bishop, you got guys like Richard Holiday, you got guys like Zilla Fatu, I mean, they're killing it on the indies. And then you got all these guys that, carrying crosses out there. Now Andrade is out there. You got Mustafa Ali's out there. The Hardys are out there. Like, tons of people are on the independents. Matt Cardona is still rocking and rolling. Like, Tommy Invincible. These are guys that are out there doing. I want my name to be included in that list when people are talking about, I'm going to this show to see. I want people to be like, we're going to House of Glory because Big Nasty's there. I'm going to GCW because Big Nasty's there. So my goal is to really make some content that's compelling and entertaining, and so I can hopefully get on their radar and make some connections and get myself seen in front of those crowds, because I feel like I'm ready for it.
And when you said National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, I think you would absolutely kill it on NWA Power, man. I would love to see Big Nasty, Glenn Williams versus Wrecking Ball, man. That's what I want to see.
You know what?
I would love to see that match.
Wrecking Ball's one of the matches on my list that I would love to have. And honestly, I'm boys with Brandon Beretta. And Brandon Beretta is a fucking killer and is just killing it right now. Strictly Business. He's been on OVW. He's one of the top guys at NWA's Territory Exodus Pro with EC3. Him and EC3, they train together. They're training people together. And I had a chance to go spend a few days with those guys and really learn from EC3. And the way that guy thinks is just like, dude, he's a fucking genius. Like, I mean, I've never seen someone like in real time watching him, the way he thinks about wrestling and processes wrestling and the way that he approaches wrestling is something that I hadn't heard anybody articulate it in the way that he did. And I got so much out of just having conversations with him. I mean, I got a lot out of like him, seeing what I was doing and giving me feedback, but just hearing his approach to things really enlightened me a ton. And it was a really great experience. And I'm very grateful that I got to have that with him. But yeah, I mean, I'm bringing that up to say, like, yeah, I would love to be on a roster with guys like that. And I think NWA should sign Brandon Beretta. I don't know why they're dragging their feet, because that dude is a fucking star. Like, put him on TV. Guys like Carson Drake. I mean, like, they've got a great roster. The Slime Balls are entertaining. Kerry Morton's entertaining. Like, the whole six, the Southern Six, is highly entertaining. Like, they've got a great roster over there. And I think that I would fit in just fine on that list of people. So who knows, man? Hopefully we can make something happen,
And when you said all those amazing talent over on NWA, the one team I love is the Immortals, man. It's not because I go by DJ Immortal. That's not the reason why. It's a pure coincidence. But these guys are beasts, man. Like, the Immortals, they're beasts.
Yeah, they don't look real.
That's what I mean, dude.
It's like, we get it, bro. You guys work out. You know what I mean? Like, fucking chill out, dude. Save an ad for me, will you? Like, fuck. Yeah, dude.
It's almost like it's almost like the 80s seeping into the freaking 2020s, man. I mean, it's like,
it's crazy.
Are you putting needles where you shouldn't be putting needles? That's what I'm wondering. You know what I mean?
Well, hey, if not, they've got a very strict diet that they're sticking to, and they haven't missed a workout in 9 to 10 years, probably. That's how that happens. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, that I think that there's a lot of positives happening in professional wrestling. A lot of, like, it's as a whole, it's growing. People are into it again, right? Like, and maybe now more than ever. And there's a lot of variety and flavors out there. So, like, that's kind of what it's about. It's like looking at a roster and going, okay, well, what do they need? And can I be that? Because I'm not just I'm not just, a guy that goes out, I'm not like, I'm not trying to like pick on them all, but it's like, you see Ricochet do all this high flying stuff, and then Rey Mysterio, and then Ospreay. It's like there's these guys that have innovated styles to where it's kind of oversaturated with a bunch of people that do that, right? Like, then you've got all these things where certain type of wrestlers are just kind of like overflowing everywhere. I don't see many people trying to do what I'm doing. And so that tells me I'm on the right path. Because let's say one of these guys goes for a 450 and, breaks an ankle or breaks a leg. Well, then what? Now you're laid up and they're just going to put another person that can do that in there. That doesn't mean that you're worth putting all the money behind, but somebody that can get people invested with just talking, somebody that can make people feel some emotions by my words and by my actions, and I'm not doing half of the effort that you're giving by doing all that stuff, all that flippy shit, all the extra shit. I don't need all that. I don't need to go do high spot after high spot after high spot. This right here, this is my high spot. I live and breathe and die by this thing right here. This is my sword. This is my high spot. All you got to do is press record, and I'm going to give you some quality content. So I don't need all that. I don't need all those bells and whistles. I just come out. I look flashy, but I don't move and wrestle flashy. And I will absolutely carve you up on this mic. And I do this in a unique way and better than anybody doing it right now. So I think I would fit in with any roster. I really believe that.
And before we actually part ways here tonight there, Big Nasty, obviously I know how to follow you on social media because that's where we got connected. But people down here in Canada that might just be discovering the phenomenal, the one and only Big Nasty Glenn Williams, how do we go about following you and, of course, all your greatest achievements and, of course, future wrestling if we're not already doing so?
Yeah. TikTok, Instagram, at Big Nasty Glenn. Big Nasty, that's Glenn with 2 N's. Big Nasty Glenn. I'm on Facebook as well, Big Nasty Glenn Williams. And then you can stream all of my music. I got the Sean Vincent song out now, but I'm going to have more up later this year. But you can stream all of that under Big Nasty Glenn Williams. It's all over all of the major streaming platforms. And you can find me on X as well, at Big Nasty Glenn. I'm going to start hitting YouTube a little bit harder this year too. I've got a backlog of matches, and now I've got the Nasty Talk episodes and stuff like that. So I think I'm just going to start, posting all my stuff there and try to kind of push everything to that direction. So follow along, man. It's going to be a crazy ride. It already has been. But at Big Nasty Glenn, my name is Big Nasty Glenn Williams, and everywhere I go, I'm the star of the show.
And I got to say, Big Nasty, before we actually part ways tonight, man, I say this to every single wrestler that comes on Elite Wrestle Talk. Thank you so much for everything you do in the squared circle, because a lot of people don't realize, man, when you walk through that curtain, you walk down that ramp and you slide in between those ropes and get in the ring, that could be the end of the career. That could be the end of your life. I always say thank you so much for everything you do in the ring, because you put your body, your life, and your career on the line every single time you step between those ropes, man. So thank you for all the years of entertainment that you've given so many fans, man. And I can't wait to continue watching your growth within the wrestling community, man, because you're absolutely tearing it up in every single promotion you have been in. We've talked about it for the past hour, but if people know Big Nasty Glenn Williams, then they know you've been absolutely killing the industry in such a positive way for the past 3 years, man. So I can't wait to see what's next for you, man.
Thank you. You have me fired up right now. I want to run through a fucking brick wall. So thank you for that. It's just good to hear it, because more times than not, I'm being told I suck, when in fact I'm the greatest goddamn wrestler walking the fucking planet, and it's not even close. So scream it from the rooftops. I am the best for a reason. It is not an accident. It's all intentional. It's all on purpose. And I am the future Central States champion for SICW. I'm holding the tag team champions at SICW. And this year in 2026, I plan to go every single place that I can, coming to a town near you to absolutely do whatever I want to, because my name's Big Nasty. And like I said, everywhere I go, I'm the star of the show. Dude, thank you so much for having me on, Mr. DJ Immortal. This has been a blast. I will come back on anytime you want. You let me know. I'll carve out time for you. Thank you for believing in what I'm doing. Thank you for putting me over like that. I appreciate that. No, I didn't pay him. I'm just that damn good. He thinks I'm that good. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And if you're ever this way, let me know so I can make sure you're taken care of. Okay.
Hey, and same goes to you as well, man. If you're ever in the Ottawa area, make sure you hit me up. And of course, whenever you get that strap around your waist, you best believe I'm going to hit you up and we'll talk wrestling, and we'll also dig into your musical career a little bit more as well. I know this Elite Wrestle Talk, so I really want to touch on that big music career of yours, but you got to give the fans the wrestling, right? I mean,
that's
20 minutes of music.
Well, it all goes hand in hand. But look, the cool thing about it is I'm going to put more music out. I'm going to win more titles. We'll have some more shit to talk about. I'm not one of these boring guys. It's like, well, years ago I did this. No. It's happening in real time, and I'm taking over whatever I want because that's what I do. So, yeah, dude, let me know anytime. I'll have some new gold. I'll have some new songs. We'll talk about it. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, I am, in fact, better than Sean Vincent, and it's not even close.
And that is pure facts. Nasty, thank you so much again for your time tonight, man. It was such an honor, and we'll definitely talk again here soon, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy. Take care. Peace.